my it's Ashley Collins, aka Beyond the Dragons. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Breakup Diaries. You know what sucks about being known like locally? Like you can't use excuses to be late for work anymore. Like I work a couple of my coworkers, one of them hates me now by the way. But a couple of my coworkers follow me online. And I can't be like, oh, I woke up late, because they'll be like, no, she blocked this morning. And it's like, God, can you like cover me for a little bit? But okay. Anyway, in conclusion, let's talk about the history of name tags, shall we? This is spontaneous-ish because as you may or may not know, the history of my my background in work is primarily working in restaurants. My first job was working at Arby's. And then I worked at Disney, and traditionally for name tags, you're supposed to put your name over your heart because like it's always close to your heart. Like people look at your heart. Also, people read left to right. And I just noticed recently we're wearing less and less name tags, and I've been wondering why, other than like keeping things cheaper, because like people lose name tags, you know, and they also charge you if you lose your name tag, and it's like I'm not gonna buy another one. So did you know that, by the way? I'm pretty sure that you did, but you don't care. If you lose something in the restaurant, you have to pay to replace it. So if I lose my apron, I have to buy it. I once worked at a job where you have to pay to drink, not alcohol, to drink soda. Like if you wanted a drink, you had to pay for a cup. And I was like, this is so ridiculous. Like, I know this company isn't poor, and if you are going out of business, then like what are you doing wrong? You know? Yeah. So stupid. It's so ridiculous, the things that restaurants do to penny pinch for their employees and also their customers. Oh my gosh, I once worked at a job that also she would charge cups for the customers. She would charge for cups of ice. And I was like, I feel like that 50 cents won't make a difference, but also like I'm not a manager, so like I don't do your books, you know? But I feel like if you're penny pinching that much for your restaurant, something has to change. Okay, so the history of name tags, right? So I have been delving deep into this for the past week, and I was like, at some point I need to just make the freaking video, you know? Because nothing will give me a concrete answer for the history of name tags. So far what I've discovered is it started with laundry tags, you know, being able to identify your laundry at the laundromat. I probably should have looked up why we started going to laundromats in the first place. The accessibility of having a washing machine in your home, I think definitely has to do with the poverty issue. You know, I can't wash, I'm not allowed to wash my clothes in the river anymore, which is unsanitary. So I need to go to a laundromat, so where you have to charge me, you know, which is also kind of unsanitary because we're all passing germs in the first place. You know what really entertains me? What really entertains me is you're walking through the restaurant with your mask on. You sit down at the seat and you take your mask off because COVID doesn't happen when you sit down. That makes no sense to me. But anyway, I digress. So yeah. And something else that I discovered while I was digging deep, looking for the history of name tags, is World War II. Soldiers, dog tags. This is not a dog tag. I don't know why I did that. They did that in order to identify soldiers, right? You identify them because there were so many, because there was such a how do I phrase this? It was such a high time where men and women were being recruited, and were women allowed to? I don't know. But it was such a high time where it was a massive amount of soldiers. So they would identify you by your dog tag, by the name that was etched on your uniform. And also as a way to identify you if you happen to pass, and they need to pass that information along to your family. And then now what you're thinking is, how did the hello, my name is start? What I saw was it started in 1959 with a what's that thing called, like a Walmart with a grocery store. But I had to sneeze, hold on. No, it passed. Okay. But what I found that made it extremely popular was Walmart. Walmart has They primarily made it super popular to have name tags because they wanted to make the guests they want the guests to feel like they were at home. They want to make the guests feel like, oh, this is just your friendly neighborhood Bob. How can I help you? And what I've been discovering is, with the decline of name tags, is not only because it's not cost effective. There's such a high rotation of people hiring, quitting. It's like there's no point in having name tags in the first place. But also it makes it easier for you to complain. It makes it easier for you to blame Bob. Like those customer surveys, they'll say that Bob was extremely unhelpful, etc., etc. And it's like, I can't keep firing people that you complain about. You know what I'm saying? If you work in a corporate office, however, you will have a name tag. Mainly for safety, like you scan your badge and then like you let you into the office. So working now present tense in restaurants has been extremely frustrating. You have no idea how frustrating it's been. I think I've said this before. I feel like I've said this every video that I've done for the past year-ish. In my mind, maybe I've watched so many movies, I romanticized how this pandemic would turn out. I thought it would be more like a Rainbow Connection. I thought it would be like a kumbaya kind of thing where we all work together, and going back to the real world, I'm like, none of us learned our lesson. Nobody did. We're just pointing the finger to who to blame, and we're blaming it on Biden, we're blaming it on Trump, we're blaming it on Dr. Fauci, and it's like it's all of our faults. Why does no one want to say that? You had a year to reset, and yes, it may have been a stressful year for you, but you had this time to reset and say, what can I do better? How can I contribute better? And now you're back in the game, right? You're back in school, you're back in the workforce, etc., etc., and you're still carrying the same bad behaviors. And you want to blame the government. And the government's like, this is why we have to exist, because you all want to behave like children. That was really bad. I work at a place that has the little kiosks like Applebee's and Chili's, where you can pay on the little thing, the machine thing in front of you, and then there's a survey at the end. And I've done this for years. I think I got this from my ex, not the most recent one, but the main one. He and I worked at a restaurant together, and he would never have his name tag. But he would never say his name, mainly because like he had his name tag on, but also like, if you're gonna complain, I don't want you to know my name, So like, this is a little thing that I do. I'm always like, oh, I don't like saying my name, because like if I do a bad job, you get to say that black girl did a bad job, and like you can't say that because it's like politically incorrect. But I think a pro, and also like a lazy tactic for having name tags, is, as I was researching this, it said that you would automatically know your colleague's name, but then like you wouldn't have to make an effort to get to know your colleague. Like I know that that's Sue. No one's name is Sue right now, by the way, but I know that that's Sue. But who is Sue? Does Sue have kids? Does Sue like walk? Does Sue enjoy long walks on the beach? Should we bring name tags back? The whole effort to make the people feel at home, I think it's reaching so much. It's reaching a little bit too much. I had a job. I stayed there for a week and then I walked out, where there was so much detail on the menu, on the history of the company, and then you had to give like this huge long spiel to every entire guest, and it's like, yo, they just came to eat and to drink. That's it. Like, It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that my name is Ashley. They don't care. Do you have an old fashioned? Do you have a burger that can cook medium well? Yes, I do. That's it. Like, I feel like we're pandering too much to make us be so remedial. We're pandering so much to make it that you don't have to think for yourself. I'll think for you. And don't you think that that's a problem? Don't you think that that's an issue? You go to a restaurant to escape, but what do you have to escape from? If this is your home, you're going away from home to escape to another home. Okay, I'm just contradicting myself at the moment. I'm so sorry. This video was supposed to be about how to document your life, cause like that's the trendy thing. That's how you go viral, etc., etc. What are you trying to document exactly? Are you only trying to document the pretty parts? Because it's real and it's also not real. Are you trying to make your life real world or world rules? That's probably such an old reference. Old reference to MTV. Which, by the way, like, they're both scripted. You're basically trying to script your life when your life isn't. Your life isn't just selfies. Your life is an encyclopedia. Your life is a scrapbook of every moment. So if you're going to scrapbook that moments, then do that. You know? Scrapbook that moment. And maybe you're afraid of the consequences, right? Maybe you're afraid of, oh God, friends, family, partners seeing it, and you're worried. I get that a lot. Oh my God, you have no idea. You have no idea how many backlash I get being like, are you okay? And it's like, I'm obviously not okay, but I'm going to keep documenting. I'm going to keep including inserts into the encyclopedia of my life. And a lot of times I look back on my videos. I usually don't do this because I don't like looking at them, but I've been looking back at my videos and I laugh at myself. I've been thinking back on memories at work recently, and I've been laughing out loud because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And I think that's a little comforting. You create an encyclopedia of your life in order to provide comfort to yourself. And if someone happens to relate to it, I just went live with Sin, and I was like, oh my God, I overthink so much. So unnecessarily much when this feeling is common, you know. Last thing, and then I do have to leave for work. My manager went off last night, or is it the other night? I know time is spilling together right now. He said that when you know the common phrase, when you're on time you're late, and I'm like, okay, well sir, let's calm down. You know, like we're not paramedics, you know, like we're not, you know, building satellites, you know, like you're going to get your food. Like just sit down and chillax, you know? But the group doesn't matter. It's the individual that does. And I'm going to say that again because I feel like I said that stupid. The group doesn't matter. The individual does, which is encouraged with a lot of motivational videos, right? They'll be like, focus on you. The world is yours, you know? So what's the incentive to care about the entire group rather than the single individual, right? Because that's not encouraged, right? Something I've been saying a lot, which sounds so repetitive, which sounds so stupid, is doing the right thing is always the right thing, right? I'm super broke. I'm hella broke. And people have been saying to me, you need to focus on you. Just grind and make your money. But I'm like, that person needs to make money as well. And why can't we think like that? I think about these politicians, these athletes. the reason why that they're successful is because they've been focusing on themselves, and then the group doesn't matter. Just focus on you. So I think that, I don't know how I'm trying to correlate that to name tags. Your identity doesn't matter. Who you are doesn't matter to me, because I'm not focusing on you, I'm focusing on me. So just shut up and do your job. I'd rather work for a manager who says that, rather than being like, we're a family company. No, you're not. You don't fucking care. You don't care about me, because if I literally died today, if I called out today, you'd be like, don't come back to work. But I thought I was a part of your family. That's it. Okay, now I do have to go to work though, because I do want to keep this job just for a little bit. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. If you know more about the history of name tags, let me know, because I'm extremely curious. Bye.